Spider-Man No Way Home came out today, and that is just a crazy sentence alone. I really never expected this movie to exist. I don't know how it does. This was one of my most anticipated films of all time. I've been a lifelong Spider-Man fan forever. That's what it means, of course. I still remember watching those original Raimi films back, over 10 years ago, obviously, in my friend's basement, and I saw the film with him tonight. There will be no spoilers in this review, of course. Do not spoil the movie for people. They do not deserve it. This movie is incredible. I loved it. It was everything I wanted it to be, so make sure to not spoil it. There will be no spoilers in this review, but I will have a spoiler talk up sometime soon, as well as maybe the post-credit scene reactions. We'll see about that one. So this one picks up right where the last one left off, with Far From Home's post-credit scene. Obviously, if you've seen it, you know how big of a deal that is. It's something that is just crazy. When I originally saw it in theaters, it blew my mind. And here, we just see the continuation of that, but after Peter goes to Doctor Strange, they try to change something, and it totally messes with the multiverse, and now we have Spider-Man No Way Home, and I'm only going to talk about things that we've seen in the main two trailers here, because there have been leaks, there have been all these little things, but I'm only going to discuss the things that we officially know about. So if you haven't seen those somehow, then click off this video. I will only be talking about that, but nothing that is not officially released, So let's talk about the big question that a lot of people will be wondering. Is this a mess? Absolutely not. I think everything that happens in this film makes perfect sense, and it's all explained very subtly. There aren't scenes where everything is explained. There isn't like these big exposition scenes. There are very funny moments, there are very emotional moments. I'll get into all that later, but everything just makes sense. And I think that's why this film is so great, because you aren't left confused. The concept of a multiverse is absolutely crazy, obviously, and the characters address that, and we see it from the minds of the characters. Somebody just flushed the toilet behind me there, you'll probably hear that. But anyway, and it's hard to wrap our heads around, but this film really does a good job at explaining it. And I think that's the main thing that people were talking about before the film came out. It was like their biggest concern is, how are they going to take all of our theories that we've been thinking about and put it into one movie? Obviously, they aren't going to take our specific theories, but a lot of them we had guesses, and they found a way to do it. I have to give them major props for that. And talking about the acting, everybody in the cast is amazing, but Tom Holland just gets better and better and better. For me, I've always loved his Spider-Man. He is possibly my favorite one. I mean, I really love them all. I don't love all the movies, but I love all the actors as Spider-Man or Peter Parker, but he does such a good job here. It is definitely his most emotional performance yet, but it works so well, and in the context of the film with everything going on, you really feel for this Peter Parker. Obviously, this one is different. I mean, they're all different in other ways, but still, there's just something so special about Tom Holland's Peter Parker. You really feel all the emotion inside of him, and I think that he was just fantastic. Zendaya was great. Marissa Tomei, Jon Favreau is great. Jacob Batalon, I don't know what exactly his name. I don't know how to say it properly. I apologize if I said that wrong. Of course, they're all great. Benedict Cumberbatch, we saw him in the trailer, so that's why I'm saying it. They're all amazing here. Tom Holland is obviously the standout because it's a Spider-Man movie, come on. And talking about the villains, again, this is just stuff that we've seen in the trailer or that's been officially released, but they're all so good here. Really funny, a lot of them. Big changes that we've seen in the trailer, notably Jamie Foxx just visually, and he was really awesome. I mean, of course I love him, but my favorite performance out of all of them, I love Alfred Molina, I love them all, but Willem Dafoe is creepy here. I mean, I've seen him in some weird performances that he's obviously great, and he's a fantastic actor, and out of all the Spider-Man villains, I'd say he's probably my favorite. I know it's really hard to pick, but he might just be my favorite one. That original Spider-Man is such an important movie to me, so seeing him back here and what happens with this character, again, I will not say, is so well done. He is fantastic here, and talking about the action is outstanding. A lot of people will complain because it's big CGI battles, but for me, it was different with this film because of the level of emotion. And a lot of people will call this fan service, and you could say that, but then again, does that mean that all the new Star Wars movies are fan service, and actually you could say the original ones are as well. Like Return of the Jedi could be fan service, and people would complain about, they complained when Endgame came out about it being fan service, but it's like, who cares? Because it's fan service done well, and that's really what this film is. But there's also a real heart and there's passion behind this film, and I think that's one of the most important things you can have when making a movie is true passion. If you can feel it throughout the whole movie, then you probably have a great movie on your hands, at least for the most part. And when it comes to a superhero movie that deals with someone who got bit by a radioactive spider, now he's fighting all these people who are made of sand and can do all these crazy things, all these wizards, as he refers to Doctor Strange in this film. Like, you have to wrap your heads around that, obviously, but for me, this film really worked. It was everything I wanted it to be because I had so much hype going into this film, because I've loved so many of these Spider-Man films, and because I've loved the character of Spider-Man forever. For me, when I was younger, there was Batman and there was Spider-Man. Those were always my two favorites. I mean, my favorite character of all time is Batman, but Spider-Man is one of my favorite superheroes out there, one of my favorite characters out there, just because the concept of him almost seems simple, but it's so smart, and here it's explored so well. There's so much I need to go in and talk about with this film, but it is written extremely well. All the tones are balanced really nicely. It's funny, it's intense, it's emotional, it's got everything you need. I really love this movie. My rating could actually go up when I watch it again, and maybe I'm blinded because I am a fan, but if you are a fan of the MCU, Marvel, Spider-Man, superheroes, anything like that, I can almost guarantee you will love this movie. Once again, do not spoil the movie and go out and see it as soon as possible before some idiot on the internet spoils it for you. Spider-Man No Way Home is everything I wanted it to be. Everyone gives fantastic performances, but Tom Holland's emotionally charged Peter Parker is really what moved me. Willem Dafoe is even creepier than in 2002. Believe the hype and do not spoil the movie. I'm going to give Spider-Man No Way Home a 4.5 out of 5. And for me, these Tom Holland movies have just gotten better and better. I really enjoy Homecoming. I still do. It's not as good as it was, I guess, in the theater, but it's still a very great movie. 4 out of 5. And then Far From Home I love more than most people I know. That's a 4.5 out of 5. And for me, this one gets the same grade, but honestly, after a rewatch, this one could go up to a 5 out of 5. When it comes to the other Spider-Man movies, I still think that I like the original Raimi 1 and 2 more than this, but right now this is in the top 3. Like, this is above Spider-Verse, this is above the other Tom Holland ones, obviously it's above the Amazing Spider-Man ones. As much as I love a lot of the things in the movie, overall, they aren't great movies, but this one really is fantastic. Once again, I just have to say, it's crazy that this movie is being made. As a fan, this was everything I wanted it to be. I know I said that a bunch of times, but it was really special. I was glad I went into it without receiving any spoilers besides like the super famous leaks, but nothing that impacted my viewing. Seeing it in a theater full of people was just great. In Canada, normally our theaters don't erupt with applause and all that, but that happens here. I won't say why or anything like that, but I mean, you guys knew that was going to happen. Let's be completely honest. But have you seen Spider-Man No Way Home? If so, tell me what you think of it in the comments down below without spoilers, because I will do a spoiler video, so make sure to check that out soon. And thank you all for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Over and out.